तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ओम् श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम्। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ॐ श्री सरस्वती नमः। Yeah, Nirvana Shikha.
मनोबुद्ध्यहङ्कारचित्तानि नाहं न च श्रोत्रजिह्वे न च घ्राणनेत्रे न च व्योमभूनिर्न तेजो न वायुः चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं। न च प्राणसंज्ञो न वै पञ्चवायुः न वा सप्तधातुः न वा पञ्चकोशः न वाक्पाणिपादं न चोपस्थपायुः चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं। न मे द्वेषरागौ न मे लोभमोहौ मदो नैव मे नैव मात्सर्यभावः न धर्मो न चार्थो न कामो न मोक्षः चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं। न पुण्यं न पापं न सौख्यं न दुःखं न मन्त्रो न तीर्थो न वेदा न यज्ञः अहं भोजनं नैव भोज्यं न भोक्ता चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम्। न मे मृत्युशङ्का न मे जातिभेदः पिता नैव मे नैव माता न जन्मः न बन्धुर्न मित्रं गुरुर्नैव शिष्यः चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम्। अहं निर्विकल्पो निराकाररूपः विभुत्वाच सर्वत्र सर्वेन्द्रियाणां न चासङ्गतं नैव मुक्तिर्न मेयः चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम्।
I think think you brought, that's Brahmagna now. We'll do that tomorrow. The first song that he sang about Gurudev is Anandamaya, Kalyanamaya, Tapomaya, Chinmaya, Karunamaya, right? And what is it that makes him that? All those things, positive things, Anandamaya, Kalyanamaya, Shivamaya, right? Shivamaya means, auspicious means no death. Kalyanamaya, same. Anandamaya, Chinmaya. What is it that makes him that? And we, the antithesis of that. What is it? Just wrong identification. Okay. Now, lot of people are there in the mission for several years. So it's not mere wrong identification. No, because now you know who you are and what you are not. It's not mere wrong association. It is your faith in the external world and lack of faith in the reality. The liberation means liberation. Don't be carried away by words. Nothing. The liberation from all our sufferings. The liberation from all our bondages. The liberation from all our dependencies. That's all liberation means. Do not imagine anything beyond that, you know. Liberation is liberation from your suffering. Liberation from your limitations, liberation from your bondages. Right? These things you cannot get unless you are willing to drop all negative things from you and all false identifications. We know, but we believe more in that than reality. Today I got a message, I read it to Balaji from Chennai. They have heard the yesterday's meeting, promptly hearing, many of them. Immediately I heard it, it was so beautiful, but it's little difficult, surrender. She was referring to surrender. It's beautiful, but it's difficult, but I am trying. But that person was not negative. He said, difficult, but I am trying. Then I sent message, yeah, it's difficult, but what you want is Godhood. Godhood has to be little difficult, but certainly not more difficult than passing a CA or getting US citizenship. You understand? It's not more difficult than passing a CA and US citizenship. For this you are willing to do so much. And for Godhood you say difficult. It's not difficult because it is difficult, because you don't want to leave your stupidities and yet want to be brilliant. It cannot happen. Both cannot happen. All that we have to do to be God is, you must have heard in the last 4 days, 20 times from me this. But if you have heard from me, next time if I come, I must see all of you bubbling with joy. Not that you don't have, you are not now, you are all above average and very good, but I should see you even more, that's all. All of you are, honestly telling, I'm not trying to praise you, are above average and very good. Honestly. And, right, I'm not flattering you. But it should be even more, because you are all capable of that. If you're not capable, it's different. All of you have the potency to rise up to very close to Gurudev. And you know, only two people do not mind others crossing them and they are not jealous. Father, with reference to the child, and a guru with reference to the student. When a student surpasses the guru is happy. So let us try to, we can't surpass him because he has reached the peak. No question of surpassing, because then it is not peak. Since he has reached the peak, we can't surpass, but let us go very close to him. And that's why he is waiting, 15, 20 years before his samadhi, somebody asked him, have you realized? He said, I am at the door, but I don't want to enter without all of you joining me. I am at the door, but I don't want to enter without all of you joining me. That's called Karunamaya. That's called Karunamaya. Right? See, it's very simple. See, why am I struggling to tell you? I should have explained to you this, or I have got several books and I won't be able to complete all that I want to do in the next 2 days. I should have gone into that. Why am I struggling, repeating the same thing? Because I see it so simple and we have to get it. That's the only reason. This state of Godhood, this state of divinity, this state of beauty is just for asking. You must be able to shed all negative things, obsessions, attachments. That's all it wants. How to do it? Flood yourself with unconditional love, they get dropped. Flood yourself with unconditional love, they get dropped. Gurudev's lovely example. Supposing a whole lake is full of mass, how do you remove the mass? The best way is hose the mass, it will go to one corner and then it is easy to remove. Hose the mass with good water, the mass will go to one corner, then easily you can remove. So also, these negativities can be removed by hosing with love. By hosing with love. Without practicing this unconditional love for all, which means you should develop the capacity to forgive all. Without that, you can't have unconditional love. You have to understand everyone is in their own class. A person who is in IIT, if he calls a 5th grade student stupid, this 5th grade student is not stupid, the IIT student is stupid. Right? Everybody is in different grades of evolution. So nobody is bad. None is bad. None is bad. Right? Like yesterday I said, some doubts come and ask me, 2-3 people came and asked me, like this I make rash statements, if you have doubts you can come and ask me after the class. Right? I'm used to these rash statements. None is bad in the world. They are bad because of our colored vision. So, this is the way you have to check up yourself. How far am I growing? One of the introspection questions of Gurudev. How far am I growing? What is the sign of growth? Expression of happiness. How does happiness express? Experience of love. How does the experience of love increase? When you are able to accommodate all in your bosom. When you are able to accommodate all in your bosom. What makes you not accommodate? Your own obsessions. Nirvana Shatakam is that. Vana is clothes. Vana is clothes. Nirvana, disrobing yourself from what? From all useless things that are covering the beauty, the God that you are. the beauty, the God that you are is being covered by lots of unwanted negative thoughts. Removing them is disrobing. Nirvana is disrobing yourself. Right? So, on one side you have to disrobe, on the other side you have to assert the goodness. This is called neti neti and assertion. Neti neti and assertion. This is meditation. I've been telling you last 2 days. Detach from the false, attach to the real. Detach from the false, attach to the real. Gurudev has, in all his lifetime, in a few thousands of verses that he has taken, has asked us to by heart only 3 places. One is 10 verses in Vivek Chudamani, 254 to 263. Jati niti kulagotra doragam nama rupa gunadosha vajjitam. That. And then Kaivalya Upanishad. Yat param sarvatma vishwasyayatanam mahat sukshma shushmataram nityam tattvameva. Right? And then 3-4 verses in Isa Upanishad, Isavasya. Only these, because they are all meditative verses. What is their essence? Jati, Niti, Kulagotra, Dhuragam. You have no Jati, you have no Niti, you have no Kula, you have no Gotra. Means was you are infinite. Doesn't mean you are an orphan. You are infinite. Nothing can bind you. Jati cannot bind you. All Jatis are in you. All Jatis are in you. Niti, Kula, Gotra, these are all in you. You are too big for all these things. Gurudev's famous statement, he insists to memorize again this small phrase, Te mayi na teshu aham. Te mayi teshu na aham. They are in me, I am not in them. The whole world, all the problems are in me. I am not in them. If I am in them, I will be crushed. They are in me, I contain. They are too small. I am too big for them. I am too big for any problem. Very simple. Just see, some people say I am suffering. You should congratulate because you are living to suffering, You are still living to say I am suffering. So that itself is a big boon. That you are still living. Right? So Nirvana Shatakam is that. We'll see some samples. Negation and assertion. Right? Mano buddhi ahankara chittani naham. Manaha, buddhi, ahankara, chittam. These are called antakarana. Karana instrument. Antakarana inner instruments. Right? I am not the mind. I am not the buddhi. I am not the chittam. I am not the ahankara. How does that help? Every problem of yours, including physical problems, are experienced at the thought level. All these 4, manaha, buddhi, ahankara, chittam, are all thoughts. So, since you are not the mind, intellect, chittam or ahankara, and all sufferings are experienced at that level, if only you can detach from them, you can experience that non-dual state of Brahmic consciousness. Is it possible? Every day you are doing in sleep. In sleep you have no mind, you have no intellect. And therefore everybody says, I enjoyed a good sleep. Because no mind. Simple, the reason in sleep for us to enjoy is there is no mind. There is no mind. So all the time I sleep. No. Bring the state of sleep into waking. That is meditation. Bring the state of sleep into waking. How? By trying to detach from the mind. How do I detach from the mind? What does the mind do? All the time create differences. That's what the mind does. All the time create differences. That is the job of the mind. Duality is created by the mind. In sleep, all of us are the same. There is no king sleep, there is no beggar sleep, there is no sinner sleep, there is no saint sleep. Everybody is the same. You don't even experience pain. Even though you have serious disease, if you are sleeping, you don't experience that. If you are sleeping, you don't experience, because mind is not there. So it is the mind that makes all the suffering. You can detach from the mind. How is it possible? Again, you are doing it several times. The first day itself, I gave the example. You are conducting a marriage of your daughter or son, and you go to the kitchen to check up. You stamp on a knife. It cuts deep into your leg. Blood oozing. What do? You just do some first aid, and laughing, giggling, marriage is celebrated. You don't mind about it. Because the marriage, in that joy, this you don't mind. If it is not married, ordinarily in-house you are roaming, some needle goes into this thing. How many people you curse? Why this happens only to me? The people are so careless in this house. Right? Unfortunately, you don't know all that because you are all Sattvic people. Right? So whatever I am talking, you don't know. But I have been a witness of all these things. Right? Because I was not all that Sattvic. Okay? Right? Shouting. It happens only to me. Why are you careless and all? Only pin. When he's doing the daughter's marriage, knife cut, deep cut, he doesn't care. So where is the pain? In the incidents or in your evaluation through your mind because of the differences? In the marriage, togetherness is the theme. Outside the marriage, assertion of the ego is the theme. In the marriage, togetherness is the theme. Outside the marriage, ego's assertion is the theme. Ego is nothing but manaha, buddhi, ahankara, chitta, 4 expressions of one thought. Functional differences. Functional differences. So, mind is ego is mind. And Bhagavatam clearly says that is Maya. What you call mind is Maya. What is Maya? Seeing things that are not there. If your mind sees something, if your indriya sees something, they are seeing reality to be different. I'm careful. I didn't say if your mind sees something, your indriya sees something, normally we will jump and say they are unreal. I don't say. They are not unreal. They are real, but you are not seeing the real as it is. You are seeing it as interpreted by your vasanas. The whole world is nothing but God. Therefore, don't say it's unreal. It is not unreal, it is God. But you are not seeing it as God because it's colored by your vasanas. It's colored by your vasanas. I said, I am not Sattvic like you, I am Rajasic. You won't believe because it's colored by your vasanas. Somebody talking here should be good. It's a vasana, not necessary. Right? Not necessary. And why am I confessing? Because my Guru's grace, I have no value for that. That's all meditation. I am not as good as you. I am Rajasic. I had all weaknesses, but I have no value. My Guru said, they all belong to the BMI covers. What does it matter to you? and I had faith in my Guru, I enjoy myself. That's meditation. Simplest. Just don't worry about your deficiencies. They don't belong to you. Your assets and deficiencies belong to the BMI. You are not the BMI. Neither get elated with the assets, nor get depressed with your deficiencies. Both are not real. They are creation of the mind, therefore Maya. Therefore Maya. Right? If you people have given serious attention to me for the last 20 minutes, you don't need more than this. You don't need more than this. But I have been lucky by, again, through the love of Gurudev, I always get only the best of students. Always. So all of you definitely will live this, I have no doubt. I've been always lucky. Why you are lucky? Because my temperament is harsh. If somebody else comes different from your quality, he won't stay in my class more than one time. That's my temperament. He will leave me. So, we saw what you are not, mano buddhi hankara. Now let us see something positive. That is also we'll see. Na dvesha rago, na prana sangno, all this I am not. Right? I am not likes and dislikes. I am not this pancha pranas. Na punyam, na papam, na saukhyam, na dukkham. All this I am not. Na mantro, na tirtho, na vedo, na yajna. That's what I wanted to come. It's okay if you say negative things I am not. But it says I am not even the Veda. I am not even the Tirthas. I am not even the mantras. Why that should be said? They are good things. Why? You said mano buddhi ahankara chittani naham. Okay, accepted. But these are good things. Veda, yajna, tirtha. That also I am not. Why? Because they are also finite. They are also finite. Any identification with anything finite, you cannot be totally secure. Mundakopanishad said what? What is aparavidya? Ruggeja samadharvo, shiksha kalpo, vyakaranam chendo, jyotishamati. All the four Vedas and Vedangas are also aparavidya, inferior. Right? Then why? What else do I have? If they are also inferior, if this is also inferior, you have to have them, but no, they are means and not end. They are means and not end. Right? They are means, not end, including dharma. Artha kama dharma means. What is the end? Freedom from everything. Freedom from everything. What is freedom from everything? Dharma also freedom. I can live as I want. You can. But if you live as you want, you cannot be freed from these things. Because your mind will get attached. You can. Theoretically you can. Theoretically you can. But a man who has no sadachara, he cannot live to this height of detachment. So sadachara becomes part of it. But again a means. Don't depend too much on that. Again a means. Again a means. Right?
This statement about the book, about I am not the Veda.
Yeah.
Because the book is finite.
Bookish knowledge.
The book is finite. But the message is infinite, or the learning is infinite.
Yeah. That's why I said they are means. They are means. But a lot of people confuse. You understand? See, there are Ganapadis who can say topsy-turvy. They can repeat it. Ganapadis. There are people who can repeat all Shankara Bhashya and 2-3 Vedas complete. but not an iota of Brahmagnana. Not an iota of Brahmagnana. Right? For today, what is the need to repeat them, memorize? You got tape recorders. Why to memorize? One word, if you can understand, what is Kalyanamaya, what is Shivamaya, what is Brahmamaya, matter over. Why you have to learn everything? Why? Nahi nahi rachiti dukrin karane. What is dukrin karane? Don't immediately jump to Sanskrit. Is also not good. Shivranjani will not leave you alive. That's not the thing. Dukrin karane represents everything material. Your money, your power, your name, your fame, your health, your bodybuilding, nothing will save you. Nothing will save you. That is Dukrin Karana. Dukrin Karana is not merely Sanskrit grammar. It's a representative word. It's a representative word. Nothing will save you when death comes nearer. You can't take 1 rupee. You may be the Sultan of a big Arabian country, but when you leave, you can't take 1 rupee with you. They put it on the head when you die. That also that fellow will take. You can't take. You can't take it. 1 rupee you can't take. Right? Nothing you can take. Power. I have so many friends. When you are all right, lot of people will come for parties. When you are dead, half of them don't even come for that also. The other half came because you owe them something. The children have to be told, I have given your father this money. All I have seen, sir. Reality. Right? That is this life, useless life, third-rate life. And we depend on that so much. There is beauty in loving all, in seeing God in all. There is joy. There is a very high dimension of peace. We don't have faith in that. How can anybody help you? How can God help you? What you don't have, God can give. What you have on your choice, don't want to own it, what can God do? What you don't have, God can give. What you have, but on your choice, do not own it, what God can do? He is helpless. He is helpless. So we suffer our choice. We enjoy our choice. Nothing to do with external situations. Nothing to do with external situations. I give you an example and see whether it is true or not. If you believe it is not true, you can tell me openly, right? Supposing there is a family living on beach and tsunami, the whole family washed off, lots of thousands of people washed off, and this man also hit a big rock and became lame. All his family washed off, the whole community washed off, he became lame. At that time, if he finds love for all the people gone, not his family alone, all people gone, if he experiences love in his heart, right? Where is he poor? Where is he poor? Tell me. He is God. He is God. So Godhead is all what you own. Either you own Godhood or you don't own Godhood because you believe in the reverse. Image is always, reverse. You write God, see in a mirror, it will be dog. The choice of God or dog is ours. And that's why this Nirvana Shatakam I asked to chant. Mechanically we chant No. Next time, don't worry about how many are there, sir? 12 or 16. Don't worry. Just take 2. Just take 2. Completely internalize. Just 2 verses. Know the meaning. Not merely repeat. Know the meaning, 2 verses. Contemplate on them. Own the spirit of it. Your life will change. Know the meaning. Here in this, sir has given the meaning. I'm going to give it to Balaji. He will put tomorrow into the apps. Meaning is also here. Right? But the meaning is not word to word. If you want word to word, approach Shivaranjani. Right? So this is the Nirvana Shatakam. Tomorrow something like this, we have Brahma Jnanavali, he will chant. Narayana. Thank you, sir. The last of the confusions I've been telling, we have several misunderstandings about meditation. The last about, before I go into the real meditations, the last one here, page 59 of Musings of a Master. Page 59, last paragraph. It is true, some Hatha yogis not only claim but also demonstrate that they can, by the process of Hatha Yoga, stop the breath completely and live for some time. But their samadhi is not nirvikalpa samadhi as explained in the Upanishads. If you take the word meaning, that is nirvikalpa samadhi, where there are no thoughts. But our Tapovan Maharaj says that's not nirvikalpa samadhi. Right? But their samadhi is not nirvikalpa. What they claim and demonstrate is nothing but the siddhi or skill they have acquired to control the entire prana or breathing process and to hold out the breath for a definite period of time. It's also heard that such yogis who have demonstrated their acquired skill of breath control have later degenerated by straying away from the path of such yogic discipline. Have you not seen children of the fishing folk remaining underwater, controlling their breath for a long time? Can they be considered to be self-controlled yogis simply because they can hold their breath for a long time? Right now, 1 minute, all of you practice Kumbhaka. Hold your breath and see whether you have thoughts. You cannot have. If you hold your breath, you cannot have. That doesn't make it Nirvikalpa Samadhi. That's what Tapovan Maharaj says. Just because you have no thoughts, it doesn't become Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Right? Vikalpa need not mean only thoughts. Vikalpa means doubts. Vikalpa means duality. Nirvikalpa Samadhi, you have no doubts now about the Atman. Nirvikalpa Samadhi, though you are seeing duality, you know it's all Atman. That is the essence of Nirvikalpa Samadhi, not having thoughts. It's not merely not having thoughts. Right? So, then yesterday, right. So, the kinds of Samadhi, yesterday we saw Laya, Bhava, etc. Before that, broadly there are two Samadhis. Broadly, Savikalpa and Nirvikalpa. Samadhi, don't have an exaggerated opinion. Samadhi means the mind in an equanimous state experiencing its own reality, the consciousness. The mind focused to its real nature and staying in that without vacillations. That's called samadhi. The very word says there is thought and there is mind. Dhi, samadhi. Dhi is there. If there is no dhi, it's not samadhi, it is sleep. Because there is no dhi. Right? So broadly, savikalpa and nirvikalpa. Savikalpa, you have a prop. Krishna, Rama, Omkara. Right? Through that, you are able to maintain the same line of thinking, same theme, aware of the one God principle with a form. That is called savikalpa. When you maintain the thought of Brahman with a form, that's called savikalpa samadhi. Without a form is called nirvikalpa samadhi. Savikalpa samadhi is again two types. Drushyanuviddha and Shabdanuviddha. Pages 76 onwards. Seventy-seven. Savikalpa samadhi, broadly savikalpa, nirvikalpa. Savikalpa itself is two kinds, drushyanuviddha and shabdanuviddha. Drushyanuviddha, reaching that state through a form, what you see. And be conscious. Of the self that is witnessing the form. The form can be your Ishtadevata. The form can be even watching your thoughts, watching your moods, watching even prana. Actually, prana vikshana and mano vikshana are two popular aids of meditation. Watching your mind, watching the prana, and or Ishtadevata. Through this, to suggest they are seen, I am the seer. They are seen, I am the seer. When your thoughts come, negative thoughts, to suggest to yourself, they are gunas, and my mind is also gunas. So these gunas are play in the field of gunas. Guna guneshu vartante. Guna guneshu vartante. Iti matva nasajjate. That's called savikalpa samadhi. Owing to this discriminative knowledge, the awareness that I am just a witness of all these experiences. Vikalpa is there, experiences, different thoughts, vikalpa. But you are aware, the vikalpas are seen. I am the seer. That is savikalpa samadhi. That is savikalpa samadhi. Simple thing. Here you are not asked to discard your mind, discard your negative tendencies. Just be aware, it is the mind. Even negativity, it is the mind. I have nothing to do. I have nothing to do. Detach. When somebody types a letter to you, you are in the office, your assistant types a letter and gives to you to sign. There, he was angry. So he called some very big man, like a minister, fool and all that. He typed that. Right? If you had signed it, you are answerable. If you had not signed it, you are not answerable. So the steno is your mind. It types several things. But you don't sign, you are not answerable. You don't sign, you are not answerable. That is savikalpa samadhi. And shabdana vidya, taking aham brahmasmi and contemplating. Shabda is the prop there. Shabda is the prop. So that's also Savikalpa. Shabdanavidya, Drushyanavidya. So this is Savikalpa. Nirvikalpa, again two types. One is Kevala Nirvikalpa, which is called Laya, by our Tapon Maharaj calls it Laya. Ramana Bhagavan calls it Kevala. Kevala means only. Only Nirvikalpa Samadhi without knowledge. That's the meaning. Lot of yogic people can still their mind for some time. Like the Guru Tapon Maharaj said, like the fisher folk children can do it. Right? Withdrawal through Hatha Yoga completely from the outside world and the BMI is possible. But that's not the real Nirvikalpa Samadhi. It is Kevala Nirvikalpa Samadhi. You only made the mind blank, but vasanas are still there. What is the difference between Kevala Nirvikalpa and Sahaja Nirvikalpa? In Kevala Nirvikalpa, you have stunned the mind temporarily, but you have not removed the vasanas. So after you get up from the Samadhi, you are a same Rakshasa. You are only Rakshasa because the vasanas have not been eliminated. In Sahaja Samadhi, Sahaja Nirvikalpa Samadhi, through knowledge, vasanas are eliminated. You see the entire world, but you see only God in that. You see only God in that. That is Sahaja Samadhi. So the world thereafter doesn't disturb you. That is the real Samadhi. If the world disturbs you, that's not Samadhi. You don't need actually Vedanta for that. You need some tablets you have to take. That's enough. Through knowledge, if the world doesn't disturb you, through knowledge, all this is Brahman. Sadashiva Brahmendra. You sang in the that day. The whole thing is Brahman.
Sarvam Brahmamaya.
Sarvam Brahmamaya. Right? That is Sahaja Samadhi. Simplest, easiest, best, pleasant. Sahaja Samadhi, simplest, easiest, best, pleasant. You little practice. But little practice is not possible for a man who is obsessed with his ego and sees differences and no love for others. Not possible. It's simple. It's easy. It's the best. It's pleasant. For whom? Whose mind is pure. What do you mean by pure mind and impure mind? No negativities. Love for all. All these books, if you have understood that one word, unconditional love, you don't need the books. The books are because we are not understood. How to understand it? Just know more and more about Gurudev, then you will know what is unconditional love. Just know his life, you will know what is unconditional love. Right? Some people ask Gurudev, I see around you all sorts of people, black marketers, smugglers, right? All criminal people around you. How do you accommodate them? He said, nobody goes to a doctor and says, I see all unhealthy people around you. With a doctor, only unhealthy people should be there. I am the doctor of the soul, only these people have to come to me. That is called unconditional love. That's called unconditional love. So, Laya Samadhi, Bada Samadhi. Right? This Sri Ramana in Upadesharam says, so rest of musings of the master you read at home. Right? Yes, but tomorrow I had to do one portion, that 38 Sravana Manana Nididhyasana. That I have to do, tomorrow I will do. I only promise tomorrow only. Today I will try to show you the same thoughts in Upadesha Sara. Right? See, Upadesha Sara is a very broad-based book. That is, he accepts all methods. Bhagavan Ramana accepts Karma Yoga. He says, Karma Yoga is rightly done also, it will take you to moksha. Bhakti Yoga, Raja Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, even Hatha Yoga. Right? He says everything can take you there, lead you. Contemplation, ultimately meditation, finally vichar. Vichar is the last thing, but all these things have a place. So he accepts all methods and he doesn't try to connect also. Karma Yoga is separately deals, Bhakti Yoga is separately deals, Raja Yoga is separately deals. He says all these are different means. So while doing the contemplation as part of bhakti, later on it will come in dhyana. Here in the Raja Yoga also. Here Bhakti Yoga itself, dhyana he includes. How should be the dhyana? My topic is different. I just have to tell you what is laya and what is bada. Here, that's all I said I will tell in Ramana Bhagavan. But in 5-10 minutes I can give you a broad outline, why not? Right? So, in Bhakti he says, Ajyadaraya srotrasa samam sarala chintanam virlata param. Uninterrupted contemplation, which is like a stream of clarified butter. Ajyadaraya srotasa samam. And the flow of river. Srotasa, flow of the river. Ajyadaraya, ghee, is superior to interrupted contemplation. Sarala chintanam, uninterrupted. Virala chintanam, interrupted contemplation. Right? Uninterrupted contemplation is better than interrupted contemplation. Right? It may be 5 minutes, but completely focus. 5 minutes, completely focus on that. Now, the world will not, nothing will happen to the world. Just keep your mobile somewhere, nothing will happen. 2 missed calls, you can talk later. You can talk later. But normally what you do, you started, right, mano, buddhi, ahankara, ring, 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 chittani naham, right? Ring, 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 that won't help. Complete 5 minutes, it can be total head and heart with love on what you are doing. Contemplate with total love. You will get the flash inside. That is meditation. Meditation is not your contemplation also. Through contemplation, what happens in you is meditation. Gurudev beautifully gives this interpretation in the 254th verse of the Vivek Chudamani. I don't know, I think I have said this here. I said in Dubai, but I don't know which class, I think here. That is, all of us are a combination of understanding and feeling. All of us are a combination of understanding and feeling. But they are not integrated. Therefore, you cannot understand anything rightly without their integration. When the head and the heart are not integrated, you don't get the correct understanding. I gave the other day the example of a doctor, night 1 o'clock, child. He said, take it for a drive and come back. That's because head and heart are integrated. Only head, book knowledge, he will not be able to say that. Only heart, doctor first has to be attended at that child. Head and heart integrated, you get a new faculty called intuition. When the head and the heart are integrated, you develop a new faculty called intuition, which gives the correct understanding. Einstein says this, scientist's knowledge is through the intellect, it's defective. Rishi's knowledge is through intuition, it never errs. Einstein said this. Scientist's knowledge is through intellect, it's erroneous. Rishi's knowledge is through intuition, it's accurate. Einstein says, scientist. That's the power of intuition. How do you get it? Head and heart integrated. That's it. Where there is contemplation, let your heart be there. You will intuitively feel the truth. You will intuitively feel the truth. That's called meditation. That state of being is called meditation. It can be 5 minutes, but do it rightly. Right? So, Ajyadaraya Srotasa Samanam Sarala Chintanam Viralatah Param. And then, in contemplation, Veda Bhavana Sohamityasau Bhavana Vida Pavani Mata. Then, duality in devotion. The feeling, I am God or God is me, is better. Everybody, devotees will raise their brows. You are talking this in the topic of devotion, that it's better to have the Abheda Bhava than the Bheda Bhava. People will raise their brows because this particular thing is coming in devotion. Yeah, you can fight with Ramana Bhagavan, you can fight with me, but can you fight on Krishna in Bhagavatam? Krishna in Gita also is okay, because that is Vedanta. But Bhagavatam and Krishna telling, Krishna says there are 4 kinds of devotees. The 2 are useless. Idiotic devotees, agitated devotees, tamas and rajas, sattvic devotees. This is my duty. I have to cleanse myself. I have to attain moksha. Majority. This is good category, I have to get moksha. I have to be devoted. I have to worship. I have to do the upasana. No selfishness. That is 2nd grade, rajas. First, 3rd grade, tamas. Last grade, 4th. 4th, tamas. Next, rajas, agitated. Sattvic people, right thing. I must do this to get moksha. Bhagavan says that's also 3rd grade because they have the duality. The first thing is where there is no duality. This is said in Bhagavata more than 2 places. One in the Rasa Leela. The gopis come and shake him. The gopis shake him because he escaped and then came back. When he came back, they shake him. Some of you can understand Tamil, can understand this better. Then I will translate it because you cannot understand this in the other language. Oh, நீ என்ன ஜாதியா நீ? கிருஷ்ணனை கேட்குறாங்க கோபிஸ். ஏன் எங்களுக்கு தெரிஞ்சு இப்படி 2-3 ஜாதி இருக்கு, நீ எதுலேயும் சேரல, நீ என்னையா ஜாதி எங்களை விட்டு போயிட்ட, ராத்திரில 12 மணிக்கு பொம்பளைங்களை விட்டு போயிட்ட, நீ என்னையா ஜாதி? What type do you belong? Such a thoughtless man. You didn't even think we are women. In the midnight you left and went. What's your category? They asked. He says, I belong to the 4th category. He says, I don't belong to the first 3 categories. I belong to the 4th category. I want to teach you how a poor man, when he finds a treasure and loses it, how he cries for that. When a devotee cries for that, he feels me. I wanted you to have that experience, therefore I disappear. Right? Bhavashunya sad bhavasustiti bhavana bhala bhaktiruttama. By the strength of the thought, he am I. Aham Brahmasmi. Firm abidance in the existence principle is gain. When you say, he am I, you will gain the firm abidance. See, for all of you, I told you, this Nirvana Ashtakam 2 slokas you do, even if you don't get the best immediately, repeat it for a length of time, definitely it will have an effect on you. Even Aham Brahmasmi, you may not understand the implications, but go on repeating it daily for a length of time. It does its work. It does its work. Again, Bhagavatam says how these things end. Inadvertently, I took a pill poison. Inadvertently, you take also, you have to die. Poison, if you take, you have to die. Right? Inadvertently, I put my finger in the fire. It has to burn. Inadvertently, you utter a mantra. It has to save. Mananat rayate iti mantra. It has to save you. Supreme devotion, he says. That's why it comes in devotion. What is supreme devotion? Please listen to this 9th verse. Whoever can get a copy of this, or even in the net you will get it. Upadesh Saram, at least verses, English translations you will get. Then you count up 9th verse, he says, by the strength of the thought I, firm abidance in the existence principle is gained which is free from all thought modifications. Nirvikalpa Samadhi. But what does Bhagavan say? This is supreme devotion. It's Nirvikalpa Samadhi. What does Bhagavan say? Supreme devotion. Because at that level, Parabhakti, Paragnana both are same. Parabhakti and Paragnana both are same. It is only Sadhana Bhakti. It's different. Krustale mana swastita kriya bhakti yoga bodhascha nishchitam. What's the goal of all paths? Krustale mana. It has been declared that Krustale, in your heart, placing the mind, that is the goal of all paths. Krustale mana. Abidance of the mind in the heart. Krustale mana swastita kriya. Right? This is the thing. But I'm a fanatic of Bhagavatam. See how simple he defines Samadhi. Hitva anya rupan swaswarupe samstitihi. Negating all other forms, staying in your own form is Samadhi. Hitva anya rupan swaswarupe samstitihi. Right, this is the thing I want. After this, probably I will. Anyway, not much. Vayurodhana liyate mana jala pakshivat rodha sadhanam. By the restraint of the pranas, breathing, the mind absorbed. That is Kumbhaka, I said, when you hold the breath, the mind also is arrested. Because they two, next sloka will come. Comes from the same root. They are two branches of the same tree. The root is the same. What is root? Maya. For both, Maya is the root. Mind and prana. So you control one, the other is controlled. You control one, the other is controlled. Control prana, mind is controlled. But that's only Leena Manasam, not Nasta Manasam. This is the difference he is going to show. Leena Manasam Laya, Nasta Manasam Bhada. This is a means of checking the mind, like the net that is used to ensnare the birds. So this is a nest to arrest the mind, but not to lose the mind. Chittavayava chitkriya shakayo dvayi shakti mulaka. Shakayoho dvayi, two branches of that one root, Shakti, Maya Shakti. Right? Chitta vaya vat chitkriya yutaha. The mind and the vital airs, endowed with knowledge and activating power. Chitta is knowledge. Prana is activating power. The both belong to the same root Maya. Therefore, arrest one, you can arrest the other. Just don't worry, I am rushing. Some of you may feel I am rushing, you can't catch it. If you know that there is a subject like this, you can learn. Right? Laya vinashane ubhayarodhane layagatam puna bhavati nomrutam. Laya vinashane ubhayarodhane, absorption and destruction of the mind. Absorption and the destruction of the mind occur by the restraint of both prana and the mind respectively. Absorption and temporarily the mind is destroyed happens by breath control. Right? But the absorbed mind comes back when the prana again comes back. Mind also comes back when the prana also comes back. So what is the use of that? It doesn't serve much purpose. Then what to do? Prana bandhana dina manasam eka chintana nashametyadaha. Prana bandhana lina manasam, through the arrest of the breathing, the mind that is absorbed, eka chintana, thinking about the one, right? Nashametyadaha, the mind gets destroyed. So, he didn't ridicule the pranayama, he didn't ridicule the Hatha Yoga. He says, through that arrest the mind, having arrested the mind, contemplate on the one truth, and the mind will be destroyed. This is the path. This is the path. Laya and Badha, right? Thank you for the Badha that you have suffered. See, this is an article by our Paramaguru in Wanderings in Himalayas. Both, if you read Tapon Maharaj and Ramana Bhagavan, same in their simplicity of making us understand the complex topics. You see how Ramana Bhagavan did. I read several passages, same thing, almost same. And Ramana Bhagavan, Sahaja Samadhi, Keval Samadhi, and all that, he talks the same way, which he is going to put it into your apps. Already put. So all of you go home and see what Ramana Bhagavan said about these things. It will be the same. He has already put it into the apps. Okay. So, you see here, it's not impossible, Tapon Maharaj says, because these statements, if I don't quote him, I won't leave Dubai. Right? It's not impossible to keep the eyes open, engage ourselves in various activities, and at the same time see Paramatman even as we see him directly in meditation, while we see him with eyes closed. It's not impossible in various activities to see the presence of God as much as you feel him in the seat of meditation, eyes closed. Right? When he says it's not impossible, it's possible. So what do? Try. Try. Where to try in the competitive field? In the competitive field, where to try all this? Please know two things. Gita says, if try a little, to that extent you are a better man, and if you find more peace materially, you will be successful. Where to find time? You will be successful even materially. One man was left in the forest, blindfolded, running here and there, running here. Somebody said, remove the bandage and see. He said, I have no time to remove the bandage, and running here and there. That's what we are doing. Where is time for this? Safa. You remove this bandage and see, the whole life is beautiful, you are inspired, you produce much more than an idiot. You produce even in material world much more. So that's what it says. The whole world is beautiful. Yesterday I quoted for this. Even if you see outside, you see only God. What did I quote? Balaji, I forget.
Sarvatma.
Sarvatma Bhava. That is, 6th chapter Gita. Thank you. That's not what I expected reply, but the reply that you gave is the right one. Right? Right? That's the useful one. See, on one side, they say that focus inside. On the other side, they say, outside also you can gain. Then why focus inside? Focus inside to know the nature of truth, consciousness. And having focus, the consciousness exists. They cannot be separated. Inside, feel the consciousness. Outside, see the existence in all common. Sarvatma Bhava. This unknown is there outside as existence. So, without Sarvatma Bhava, merely feeling inside, that will not help, because without Sarvatma Bhava, vasanas are not destroyed. Only through Sarvatma Bhava, vasanas are destroyed. Again, you should ask me, what is the authority? What is the authority on meditation in Gita? Chapter 6. And Bhagavan concludes with stanza 32 on meditation. After that, Arjuna asks doubts and he goes on till 47 or something like that. 44 or 47. But his discourse on meditation concludes with 32. After that, doubts answered. When he concludes the discourse on meditation, the last 4 verses 29 to 32 are the Sarvatma Bhava. That means what? Height of meditation is Sarvatma Bhava. To see the Lord everywhere. Height of meditation is to see Sarvatma Bhava. Here, Bhagavan gives the 4 verses. You have to infer that this is the height. Bhagavatam doesn't allow you to infer. He says, if after you get Sarvatma Bhava, there is nothing for you to do. Go to club. After you get Sarvatma Bhava, there is nothing for you to do. Go to club. Very simple. So all of us have to try that. Why that is important? When you get Sarvatma Bhava, there is no mind. Because mind survives on divisions. Sarvatma Bhava, there is no mind. Where there is no mind, you are God. Swamiji say famous equation. God plus mind is man, man minus mind is God. Sarvatma Bhava, there is no duality, plurality. Where there is no duality, plurality, there is no mind. Where there is no mind, you are God. Therefore, see God everywhere. Right? But I said something yesterday, and you are a man, once you hear it, you don't forget. That's why I asked you. But you gave me this by the wish of Swamiji, and it was useful. Now if you remember that, you tell me. Yatra yatra manomadiyam tatra tatra tavaswarupam. Yatra yatra shiromadiyam tatra tatra padadvayam te. Wherever my mind wanders, oh Lord, that's all your form. Wherever my head goes, there are your 2 feet. How people can say meditation is difficult? So enjoyable. How can people say meditation is difficult? Such maja. So now, how this, because basically meditation is to keep the mind in the single line of thinking. Sajatiya vritti pravaha. It's not that not thinking, but thinking on one direction. Sajatiya vritti pravaha, on one line. That's called meditation, contemplation. Right? How does helps? It says here, Swamiji's I think this comes in also Vivek Chudamani, but if you see May TP, there's this month TP, because this month TP 2 days more, you would have not thrown it out. TP means Tapan Prasad. You would have not thrown it out this month. So go home and take and see the last Chinmaya Lahiri. Last page is Chinmaya Lahiri. Lot of people subscribe, but they don't open it. I told you yesterday, go to doctor, pay, because he has to live. Buy the medicines, the pharmacist have to live. Right? Throw the medicines out because you have to live. Right? So a lot of people get Tapan Prasad also, but the books are fresh. Right? So the last page, this is written. One who has come to entertain constantly, at least in a corner of his mind, a continuous awareness of the divine principle and allows it to influence the rest of his mental field is the one marked for progress and growth both in his life within and without. Both within and without, if you can continuously keep the awareness of that divine principle and allow it to influence the rest of your life, you gain the best of both, material and spiritual. Spiritual, material prosperity without spiritual awareness take you to the roof and drops you where no bone will be left. Material prosperity with spiritual backing, even if you slip, as Gurudev says, you slip from his hand to his lap, nothing will happen. You slip from his hand to the lap. Material success, Hiranyakasipu. Hiranyakasipu means what? A man whose bed was gold. Hiranyakasipu. Ravana, height of success, height of even knowledge. But ego, no spirituality, destroyed. Both destroyed themselves. For that they did the tapas, to destroy themselves. Tapas is to destroy themselves. The prosperity that comes to you without the spiritual backing is disastrous. Gurudev's famous example in the beginning text in those days itself. The keel must be proportionately deep compared to the mast in the boat. The mast, if it is very high, the keel should be equally deep. Otherwise the boat will tilt. The mast is material prosperity. Keel is the spiritual living. Keel is the spiritual living. Right? Just the logic, just as a blue street light adds a blue tinge to the color of the dresses. Whatever dress you wear, if you are under the blue street light, there will be blue tinge on your dress. Color of the dresses of all those who pass under it, irrespective of the actual color of the various dresses. So too, in the blaze of divine awareness, even criminal thoughts rising in the mind would gather the golden hues of godly perfections. Don't ask me who wrote it, only Chinmayananji can write it. These type of words only he can write. Once in Chennai, somebody asked a message for the souvenir. Gurudev dictated it, the steno typed and brought, asked Gurudev to sign. You want a signature for this? Who else can give this? You want a signature for this? Who else can give this? That's the Mahatma. Right. So, he says, in the blaze of the divine awareness, even criminal thoughts rising in the mind would gather the golden hues of godly perfections. You can't accept it. Let a criminal go to the temple, a most sensuous man go to the temple. They are not sensuous there. They are not criminal there. That is why our temples have this. Again, I heard from Gurudev, so I am telling. Otherwise, some of you may fight. Children are here, you should not give that example. Gurudev said it, so I will say. Right? Temples have erotic sculptures. Why? Because in that place, if your mind doesn't go to them, it is a guarantee. If you can turn your mind to the self, nowhere else outside, these temptations can affect you. That is the sadhana, for that they are there. That is what he says. If you are covered by that divine awareness, the criminal thoughts also get divinized. So what do you do? Ram, Ram, Ram. रोते भी कहो राम राम, सोते भी कहो राम राम, गाते भी कहो राम राम. Very powerful word, because it's the combination of two Mahamantras. Om Namo Narayanaya, Bijaksharam. What is a Bijaksharam? You take it off, it has the opposite meaning. Not only it has no meaning, opposite meaning. Om Namo Narayanaya. Take the Ra off. Narayanaya, Narasya Ayanam. The abode, the goal, the path of Nara. Take Ra, Na Ayanam. He has no path, no goal. Take Ra off. Namo Narayanaya. Take Ra off. There is no Ayana for this man. Right? That is why Ra is the Bijaksharam of Ashtakshari. Panchakshari, Bijaksharam, C. Ma. If you take Ma off from Panchakshari, Namah Shivaya, take Ma off, Nash Shivaya. Nash Shivaya, there is no auspiciousness, only death. Opposite meaning. The Bijakshara of Panchakshara is Ma. Bijakshara of Ashtakshari is Ra. So Rama, two Bijakshara of the most powerful mantras. Therefore, Rama, Sri Rama Rama Rameti, Rame Rame Manorame, Sahasranama Tattulyam, Ramanama Varanane. 3 times tell. Sri Rama Rama Rameti, Rame Rame Manorame, Sahasranama Tattulyam, Ramanama Varanane. Sri Rama Rama Rameti, Rame Rame Manorame, Sahasranama Tattulyam, Ramanama Varanane. Yeah? Did I say anything wrong? He stopped suddenly halfway.
3 times we chanted.
Huh?
We chanted 3 times, thrice.
Oh, 3 times, no.
2 times.
First time I gave sample. This is the second time only. Doesn't Okay. This Rama is very powerful. When you don't sleep, when you don't get sleep, try this. When you don't get sleep, try this and put it into the apps. If it works, then only I will know. If you put it through Balaji apps, I will also read. Now he has been kind enough to add me into the group. Right? So I will also get all Dubai news. So Rama, you try. Gurudev also said this. Gurudev said it, and it's my personal experience too. If you don't get sleep, close the eyes, lie down, and say Ram, Ram, Ram mentally. You would have slept by the 20th time you repeat Rama, you would have slept. Very powerful. And somebody asked Gurudev, what medicines you take? He said, for all small disease, I have one pill. That alone I take. Major things I go. For small disease, I take that one pill. Rama, 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 Rama. Gurudev Sistadevata also Rama, because he is born on Ramanami. Right? Very powerful mantra. Go on repeating and easy to repeat. That's the beauty of Rama. No other mantra is so easy. Rama, 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 Rama. Focusing is easy. That is today's mantra. Because 8:30 already. Today's mantra is Rama. Right? So, Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnam Purnam Darshate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om